"I think you need a hug, can I hug you?" said the little girl to the young homeless woman at the corner bench. For a moment, everything stopped, the wind, the traffic, even the ache in the young woman's chest. The question hung in the air like a ray of sunlight piercing a storm cloud. Her name was Aria, 23, wrapped in an oversized coat someone had discarded months ago. She sat on the cold metal bench outside the bus station, the place she had quietly begun to call home. People usually hurried past her, eyes fixed forward. Some offered coins, most offered silence, but this child, this tiny girl with a purple backpack and warm brown eyes, stopped. And she cared. Aria blinked, unsure if she had imagined it. A hug, she repeated, her voice fragile. The little girl nodded with sincerity that only young hearts can hold. "Yes, Mom says people need hugs the most when they look sad. And you look like you need one a lot." Aria's throat tightened. Something in her cracked, the piece of her that had been clenched for months. "Okay," she whispered. The girl wrapped her small arms around Aria, and Aria felt warmth she hadn't felt in so long that she had forgotten what it meant to be held. Tears slid down her cheeks, unnoticed by the child but not by the woman standing a few feet away, the girl's mother. The mother stepped closer. "Mia, sweetheart, come here." Her voice wasn't angry. If anything, it trembled. Mia pulled back from the hug, smiling brightly at Aria as if she had just handed her the world. Months earlier, Aria had been like any other young woman trying to build a life. She had dreams, a job at a bakery, a small rented room, and a best friend she called her sister in everything but blood. But dreams, she learned, can collapse as quickly as they rise. A sudden fire in their shared building took everything she owned in a single night. Insurance didn't come through. Her workplace closed temporarily because of structural damage from the same fire. And her best friend moved back to her hometown for family reasons. Aria had no savings, no backup plan, no one nearby to lean on. She told herself she could fix her life, that this was only temporary. But temporary stretched into weeks, then months. Shelters were full. The streets were not kind. Every day became a challenge. Finding a safe place to sleep. Navigating hunger that felt like an anchor tied to her stomach. Surviving the cold. Enduring the way people looked at her, or the way they didn't look at all. Her hope thinned like worn fabric. Until a little girl asked to hug her. "I'm sorry if she bothered you," the mother said gently. She wasn't like most people who approached with hesitation or pity. Her eyes held genuine concern. Aria wiped her face. "She didn't bother me. That was the kindest thing anyone has done for me in a long time." The mother hesitated. "I'm Elena, and this is Mia. Are you hungry? We're about to eat lunch nearby. If you'd like to join us, you're welcome to." Aria instinctively shook her head. "I don't want to trouble you." Mia tugged on her coat. "Please come. Mom says sharing is super important. And you can sit with us and talk." "I like talking." Elena laughed softly. "She's very persuasive." Aria wanted to refuse again, but her empty stomach spoke louder than her pride. She nodded shyly. At the small cafe a block away, Aria sat across from mother and daughter, still unsure if she belonged there. But they greeted her with warmth so effortless that her wariness slowly softened. Mia talked cheerfully about school, her drawings, her dream of becoming a vet so she could take care of stray animals. Aria smiled for the first time in weeks. Elena asked gentle questions, never prying, never judging, about Aria's life. Aria told them only the simplest truths. She had lost her home, she had lost her job, she was trying to get back on her feet. "You're brave," Elena said sincerely. Aria almost scoffed, but Elena continued. "Most people underestimate how hard it is to survive hardship alone." Something unspoken passed between them, a thread tying broken pieces back together. Before leaving the cafe, Elena gave Aria a bag of food and her phone number written on a napkin. "If you ever need someone to talk to," she said, "or help finding resources, please call." Aria tucked the napkin into her pocket like it was precious. Elena began visiting the bus station every few days. Sometimes she brought warm food, other times, simply company. She connected Aria with local support services, but many were overloaded. Aria tried applying to jobs, but without an address or clean clothes, interviews were nearly impossible. And yet she didn't give up. Not with Mia running to her whenever she saw her, arms wide open. Not with Elena gently reminding her that she didn't have to fight alone. Still, challenges persisted. A night when her backpack was stolen, taking her only blanket with it. A flu that left her weak and feverish on a park bench. The shame of being turned away from jobs once they saw her condition. The fear of hoping again, afraid it would be ripped away. But she endured each day with more strength than she gave herself credit for. Because someone finally believed in her. One rainy afternoon, Elena found Aria shaking under the awning of a closed store. Her lips were pale, and she was barely conscious. Without hesitation, Elena called for help. Aria was taken to a clinic where she was treated for dehydration and exhaustion. Elena and Mia visited her every day. Why are you helping me so much? Aria asked once, voice trembling. Elena took her hand. Because everyone deserves to feel human. You didn't choose your hardships. But you chose to keep going. That matters. When Aria was discharged, Elena surprised her. I found a transitional housing program with an open spot. And I spoke with an old friend who owns a bakery. He's willing to interview you. Aria felt something bloom in her chest. Hope, raw and powerful. Aria moved into the small but warm room offered by the program. She showered, got clean clothes, and stood in front of a mirror, almost startled at the person looking back at her. At the bakery interview, she found herself surrounded by the familiar scent of bread and sugar, a reminder of the life she once loved. The owner listened to her story, looked at her determination, and after a long moment, said, I believe in second chances. When can you start? Aria cried again, but this time, the tears tasted like relief. Rebuilding what was lost, weeks turned into months. Aria became a valued part of the bakery team. Customers liked her gentle smile and calm voice. She saved money little by little. She attended counseling sessions and support groups arranged by the housing program. Most importantly, she regained something she thought she had lost forever, her sense of worth. Mia and Elena remained constants in her life. They visited her at the bakery, inviting her to dinners, birthdays, and little celebrations. Mia would proudly boast, this is my friend Aria. To everyone she met. One sunny afternoon, after finishing her shift, Aria met them at the park. Mia ran to her as always, throwing her arms around her waist. You're warm now. Mia giggled. You used to be cold all the time. Aria laughed. I know. Elena smiled. Look at you. You've come so far. Aria looked at them both, overwhelmed with gratitude. I wouldn't have made it without you. Elena shook her head. You made it because you didn't give up. We only walked beside you. The message that remains. Later that evening, as Aria walked home to her small but safe room, she passed the old bus station, the bench where everything had begun. She paused, touched the cold metal, and closed her eyes. A little girl's voice echoed in her memory. I think you need a hug. Can I hug you? That moment had changed her entire life. Aria realized something then. Kindness, even the smallest kind, carries unimaginable power. It can rebuild what was shattered, heal wounds no one sees, and guide lost souls back toward light. She whispered to the empty street. Hope comes from the most unexpected places. And she meant it. This story reminds us that no one is too small to make a difference, no one is too broken to rise again, and no act of kindness is ever wasted. Sometimes, all it takes to change a life is one genuine moment of compassion, a hug, a smile, or a hand reaching out to say, you're not alone. Because hope grows where kindness is planted, and those seeds can save someone's world.